Hey there guys, Peaking Network News here. Today I'm going to be addressing the most recent dupe on the server. So as you can see, staff told us to destroy any items. This is a pretty devastating dupe. There was swords duped, armor, enchanted books, tools, basically anything that could be duped was duped. Two people threw me tools, a hoe and a sword. Vegos is the current suspect since I could actually see his name tag. As you can see right here, I picked up a bunch of books, which of course later I destroyed because I don't want to get banned. And as you look around the scene, there's enchanted stuff everywhere, armor, tools, weapons, basically everything. But of course then me being me, I decided to check the auction house. What I do is I do /AH, of course, after failing it twice. And then I look around, of course, for some reason, there's a bunch of swords. I wonder why. People were reselling all the swords and weapons they got off the ground, even though it's going to be rolled back anyway. And then I found this really handy sword. It has a name and a Discord tag on it, which of course is the furthest lead I so far have on this person. So the next day I logged on to Pika, checking survival to see if the server been rolled back, and it turns out no, it hadn't. The day before I had done a bunch of progress on my base, including getting my new armor with prot and things, mending, maxing out 4 of my villages, which took some time, and this all happened during the dupe. So if it got rolled back, I would lose all this progress, which has not happened, meaning a day after the massive dupe, nothing's happened so far. When I check my chunk, which I mined out the day before, nothing's been rolled back. That's the same progress I had yesterday. And then I check auction house again, because I'm so clever, and there's a bunch of duped items. I'm assuming they're duped items on there, such as arrows, swords, crossbows. And that oh so weird sword worth 10 billion with the person to DM with dupes is still there. I'm on the announcements page of the Pika forum. So far nothing's been announced, which is a shame since it did ruin the economy of the survival, and people are very annoyed that the server's going to be rolled back. Same in Discord, there's been no announcements. In notices, changelog, media, giveaways, there's been no announcements regarding this. Just the OP prison reset, the OP factions announcements. Changelog has just been they've changed the rules a bit. So I managed to get in touch with an administrator of the server to give me their account of the dupe. This mod was there that day and will be able to give us vital information regarding this dupe. They say someone messaged them a random username, and moments later they were bombarded with hundreds of messages saying there were dupes at spawn. This mod rushed there and saw people picking up the items, to which they then said to destroy the items. They then messaged the correct staff to deal with the scenario, which was of course the correct thing to do, bearing in mind the scenario they were in. This same moderator was able to tell me that it's rather difficult to keep a track of the leader of it because it's a cracked server, so they can join on basically any old accounts. So one of the dupers called Dizzery, he said it was okay for me to keep his identity public, so I'm going to do that. Basically, he's making jokes. He's just said, oh yeah, it's April Fools, Mr. Epico bad. They crashed the economy completely by selling all these items. Now everything expensive is cheaper. They have a bunch of duped shulker boxes full of netherite blocks. It was a dupe known by his entire team, and once again, Mr. Epico bad. It's a personal vault dupe that glitched it so you could basically take the stuff out infinitely. They then distributed it via spawn from Just Themo's account, which is he's a developer on the server, and for some reason somehow they got his account, and they distributed it via that account,